This morning, as you can see, we're going to talk about conquering people. That's what I want the thought to be on this first Sunday of Black History Month. Again, doing things a little different. Daniel chapter 1, verses 3 to 7, you'll find these words recorded this way in the New International Version of Scripture. The story says, "Then the king ordered Ashpenaz, chief of his court officials, to bring into the king's service some of the Israelites from the royal family and the nobility. Young men, without any physical defect, handsome, showing aptitude for every kind of learning, well-informed, quick to understand, and qualified to serve in the king's palace. He was to teach them the language and literature of the Babylonians. The king assigned them a daily amount of food and wine from the king's table. They were to be trained 3 years, and after that, they were to enter the king's service. Among those who were chosen were some from Judah: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The chief official gave them new names. To Daniel, the name Belteshazzar. To Hananiah, Shadrach. To Mishael, Meshach. And to Azariah, Abednego. So that is the biblical history. Again, on this morning, I want to talk about conquering people. And as we move along, perhaps I'll say, please advance the slide, or I'll say advance slide, so that we can stay together. Amen. So thankful for those great technological people there. So, King Nebuchadnezzar, he was in the conquering business. He was the Babylonian king. He was a man who wanted young men to serve in his palace. He gave instruction about what type of young men he wanted. This king wanted to conquer the handsome and those without physical defects. He wanted young men who showed aptitude. They needed to be smart, well-informed. These young men needed to be quick to understand, and they needed to be qualified. This Babylonian king, King Nebuchadnezzar, he saw the land and the people in it, and he wanted to capitalize off of what he saw. This is the biblical history. Interestingly, if you consider hundreds of years later, there is history of humanity where Europeans saw Africa and the Americas as places to capitalize off of what they saw. Isn't it interesting how history can repeat itself? They saw this land rich in plants, and they thought, we can exploit this for profit. Places to advance their knowledge of science. So then, in the 1600s, collecting natural history specimens was popular among Europeans. It was profitable across Europe. The Americas, understand, they were already inhabited by indigenous people. These people were already living there long before Europeans arrived. Please know that the arrival of Europeans had a terrible effect on the health of these indigenous people. When the Europeans arrived, they brought with them smallpox and chicken pox and measles and influenza, and so many indigenous people in the Americas, they had little or no resistance or immunity to these diseases. So many people died, but some survived. And on this land, they were conquered. Even by 1619, the first free Africans arrived in Jamestown, Virginia. Free persons who were put in chains. So just as King Nebuchadnezzar conquered people, the same was seen in America. The American slave trade. So then the question arises, how does one conquer people as we advance the slide? How does one conquer people? Well, as we see, there are steps to conquering people. The first thing you need to do if you're going to conquer people is you need to take them and teach them. The take and teach method.
Come on, sis.
Secondly, if you want to conquer people, you need to ensure their dependence on you. Ensure dependency. And the last way to conquer people is to change their name. As we advance the slide. Take and teach. Take and teach. I take you from your land. This is what King Nebuchadnezzar did. Oh, but again, history repeated itself. I take you from your land. This means that you don't really know your culture. You don't have culture. You're away from your customs. I split up your families. I make sure that you don't know your history. King Nebuchadnezzar took them from their land. Not only that, but the text tells us that he wanted them to learn his language. The text tells us that he wanted them to learn the Babylonian literature as we advance the slide. Even in America, they took Africans from their native land. Put them in chains. I'm going to teach you that there's something wrong with the tone of your skin. I'm going to teach you that your physical features, they're no good. I'm even going to make you not think about Genesis, where it says that God created everything and it was good. I want to make sure that you distinguish in your community the difference between good hair and bad hair. Although God said that everything he created is good, not that kinky hair on your head. Oh, I have to teach you that there's something wrong. And then if I'm going to conquer you, I have to be sure that I teach you all not to trust one another. I teach you. And if you don't trust one another, then you won't support your businesses even if you get them. Oh, but how many people know that there's been a change because we stand with Bennett, and now we know that Bennett College is going to be all right. So the teaching and the taking doesn't always resonate. I wanted to teach you that you were inferior to me. I wanted to teach you that there was only one way to learn. And if you don't stand to my standards, then you're dumb. Teach you to hate what you are and love what you cannot be. That's right. As we advance the slide, I must teach all of you as a community. I have to get in all of your minds because I need to control the way that you think. That's right. Because if you start to think that you're somebody, what's going to happen to me when you find out who you are? That's why I love Dr. Carter G. Woodson. In his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, he warned and he said, if you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his action. That's right. When you determine what a man shall think, you do not have to concern yourself with what he will do. You see, your thinking precedes your actions. If you don't think you can, you never will conquer you by controlling your mind. All of you. So that's the first step, is to teach and take. That was the method of King Nebuchadnezzar. I'm going to teach these boys. I'm going to take these boys. And then as we advance the slide, I told you the next step is to ensure dependence. Well, the text says that King Nebuchadnezzar aimed to control their food. The text says that he assigned them a daily amount of food and wine from his table. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From his table. But you see, these young boys, they knew that King Nebuchadnezzar slide.
Amen.
I've been reading slave narratives. One in particular is Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, written by Harriet Jacobs. But she wrote under the alias of Linda Brent, because of course in her day, she wanted to just stay undercover, but she wanted to tell the story. And she talks about dependency on the slave owner in her day. She talked about how that was indeed a tactic that the slave owner used, was that wanted the slaves to depend on them. Even the slave owner's wife, in that day they called her the mistress. Listen to how the mistress ensured dependency, that the slaves would depend on her. Harriet Jacob writes, if dinner was not served at the exact time on a particular Sunday, mistress would station herself in the kitchen and wait till it was dished, and then spit in all the kettles and pans that had been used for cooking.
Jesus.
She did this to prevent the cook and her children from eking out their meager fare with the remains of the gravy and other scraps. The slaves could not get nothing to eat except what she chose to give them. Provisions were weighed out by the pound and ounce 3 times a day. I can assure you she gave them no chance to eat wheat bread from her flour barrel. Jesus. She knew how many biscuits a quart of flour would make, and exactly what size they ought to be. You eat when I say it.
Jesus.
You depend on me. That way, when I decide to give you something, if I ever get sick, you will take on my persona and say, oh, Master sick, we sick.
That's right. Come on, That's right.
Oh, Master not doing well, we not doing well.
That's right.
But don't forget your own community.
That's right. That's right.
And remember what's going on in your own community as well. God loves us all, and we must be sure that we have self-sufficiency. This is why black businesses are so important. This is why the black church is so important. This is why our black schools are so important as we advance the slide.
Making it clear, sister, making it clear. Yes.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson also says in his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, that the Negro has to be so careful. He says if the Negro in the ghetto must eternally be fed by the hand that pushes him into the ghetto, he will never become strong enough to get out of the ghetto. We can't put things on other communities. We can't expect other communities to teach our children self-love. We can't expect to teach one another things that only we have to give one another. Who are you dependent on? Come on. You don't have to be a slave. As we advance the slide. So then, if I'm going to conquer you, we see that the tactic that King Nebuchadnezzar used was to change these young men's names. Change their names as we advance the slide. A name is so very important. Those Africans brought here to America, their names were changed. They did not know really, as the years progressed, we don't know which part of Africa we came from. We don't know our original names. My last name is McCoy. Come on, somebody. McCoy? Have you heard of the Hatfields and McCoy? The fact is, many enslaved Africans are unnamed and remain in the records as statistics rather than individuals.
Tell it.
Names are so important. The Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. So as we advance the slide, you don't need to know your name. You don't need to have a good sense of self. You don't need to think that you can be anything more than what I tell you that you can be. If you don't have a college degree, you can't be anything. You're already nothing. You see, even in the days of slavery, they were called bucks. That was the name of the men.
That's right.
Nothing more than an animal. And the females were called witches. Nothing more than property. On auction blocks. Look at her, ladies and gentlemen. She has childbearing hips. We don't care what her name is.
That's right.
King Nebuchadnezzar was a conqueror. There have been many, even after Nebuchadnezzar, who
That's
have
right.
tried their best to be conquerors.
That's right.
But the one true God has proved to be better than all.
Well.
Read the book of Daniel, and you will discover this to be true. And even through American history, God has still proven to be better and bigger than anyone who tries to conquer anyone. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what class you're in. You are somebody because God created you in His own image. So in 2019, racism has tried to conquer us. Classism has tried to conquer us. Negative energy has tried to conquer us. But just advance the slide. Because we need to remember Romans 8 that tells us that we are more than conquerors. So I stand even in the voice of Paul. In Romans 8, he says, what then shall we say in response to all of these things? That's the question on this board. McCoy, what then shall we say in response to all of these things? I heard you talk about racism. I heard you talk about classism. I heard you talk about how there are those who are trying to conquer the pain, the hurt, and the suffering, the history even of America that people don't want to talk about. McCoy, what then shall we say in response to these things? But I say the same thing that Paul said when he put pen to paper. And he wrote, if God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all. All means all. How will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? Who will bring any charge against us, those of us who he has chosen? It is God who justifies. Who then is the one who condemns? No one. Christ Jesus, who died, more than that, who was raised to life, is at the